Hello, welcome back to another FPL video. I hope everyone is doing well. We're getting closer and closer to the Game Week 31 on Friday, so we've only got a couple of days left to tinker with our teams. Today we're going to be taking a look at those players who could be considered as must-haves for the coming game week, looking specifically at Game Week 31 and just players who generally will take us through to the end of the season, or at least the back end of the season, with some decent fixtures and those players on good form as well. If you are new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for FPL content. Hit the like button if you do enjoy the video, and let's get straight on into this one. So firstly, I've just picked out 3 players here who I just think are pretty much essential must-haves for basically the rest of the season. We've got the main man Harry Kane in here, and I don't think anyone can debate that he is not essential. If you don't have him in your team, then I just question what's going on there. He's picked up the most goals and the most assists in the Premier League so far this season, picking up 19 goals and 13 assists, and with an expected goal return of 0.89. Basically expected a return every single game on penalty for Spurs. Great captaincy option, and it's just all praise for Harry Kane. It's just a cracking option and should be in your teams. Then we come to Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. Just been such a solid FPL pick this season. Pep finally giving us a player who we know is going to play week in, week out, picking up 17 clean sheets so far this season with an expected goals against of 0.68. That is the lowest expected goals against in the Premier League. Basically, Manchester City have the best defensive stats. They are the only side to have below 1 expected goals against, so they are absolutely smashing it. He does have an expected goal return of 0.06, so we're not really looking for the goal returns from Ruben Diaz. He does have a couple of bonus points though when they do pick up a clean sheet, and when Manchester City, you know, they've not been kind of scoring as many goals as they have in the past, so maybe in like a 1 or a 2-0, Ruben Diaz are likely to get on the bonus points as well. Then we have Bruno Fernandes, the Mr. Consistent so far this season, picking up so many points. Actually, the highest scorer in FPL so far this season with 214 points. He's picked up 16 goals and 11 assists, and obviously, you know, he does have less goals and assists than Harry Kane, but he's still the highest point scorer, so it shows the value of having those kind of premium midfielder, or just the value of being a midfielder, the extra point for the goal, the clean sheet points, and just the general bonus points that Bruno Fernandes does pick up. He's got an expected goal return of 0.83, and so it's just a cracking asset for the rest of the season. There is an argument that can be made, however, for bringing in Salah for Bruno Fernandes. You know, Salah does have really good form, and after they lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter final last night, if Liverpool do kind of get knocked out of the Champions League, then Salah and Liverpool will be absolutely gunning to kind of get their Champions League spot for next season in the league, so Salah could pick up some good form there as well. So I definitely make an argument for bringing in Salah over Bruno Fernandes if you're on a wild card or so on, but I do think Bruno Fernandes does look a great option as well for the rest of the season. Then we move on into the attackers. We've got the main premium option there. Staring right at you, have Jamie Vardy picking up 12 goals and 7 assists so far this season, with an expected goal return of 0.85, very much keeping up with the likes of Bruno Fernandes and the likes of Harry Kane. Leicester throughout the back end of the season are really going to be kind of gunning to maintain that Champions League spot that they bottled last season, and Jamie Vardy is a key player within that. They do play West Ham in their Game Week 31 fixture, but without Declan Rice, their main kind of defensive midfield stomper, I do think that Jamie Vardy and Leicester stand a good chance, and obviously Leicester themselves are gunning for that Champions League spot. As I say, I think Vardy is a key asset towards that. The one thing I say about Vardy is the injuries. He's a bit of a trolley player in that respect. You'll bring him in, captain him, and he will go and get injured, but he does have a good fixture coming up against West Brom that you could potentially captain him in as well. So I think Vardy looks like a good option for the coming game. Then we also have Calvert-Lewin picking up 14 goals with no assists. I think he has actually picked up some kind of FPL assists, as it were, for winning penalties and so on, or just, you know, getting shots on target, and players getting the rebounds. Picking up 14 goals with an expected goal return of 0.67. Calvert-Lewin looks a pretty decent option towards the back end of the season. He is guaranteed to have at least a double game week in basically the rest of this season, and is also definitely not going to blank in game week 36. So the reasoning behind Calvert-Lewin basically is that if you get him in now, you're going to get probably a double game week in 35, and then he also won't blank in game week 36, and in 36 he plays against Sheffield. So maybe it's something you can kind of look at a bit closer to the time, but I'd definitely be kind of in the back of your mind be considering Calvert-Lewin. Although the one bad thing I would say about Calvert-Lewin is that when he does score, he doesn't pick up too many bonus points for some reason. I just think he commits fouls, or just for some reason he's not really picking up those bonus points. But a man that loves a bonus points is the next player we are coming to, and that is Chris Wood. Chris Wood has picked up 7 goals with 1 assist so far this season, and expected goal return of 0.44. He's been injured for most of the season, which is why his kind of goal stats are a little bit lower than you would normally expect him to be. He is on penalties, so that is a massive upside. And with Burnley still somewhat in a kind of relegation scrap, Chris Wood they will be relying on to grab goals, and when he's fit, when he's playing, he will be bagging goals. And unlike Calvert-Lewin, as I did mention, when Chris Wood scores, he's very likely to get you bonus points, 2 or 3 bonus points. This man absolutely loves it. Remember the Arsenal game where the ball literally just hit him off the chest? He managed to pick up 3 bonus points in that game, just off the ball, literally just hit him off the chest. So I don't know what he does compared to Calvert-Lewin, but he loves a bonus point. I think Chris Wood is a cracking option for basically the rest of the season. Then we move on into the midfielders. The main man in the middle there, Heung-min Son, picking up 13 goals with 9 assists so far this season, an expected goal return of 0.59. You probably expect that kind of expected goal return from Son to be maybe a little bit higher, but maybe it's because he's just not been playing over the recent weeks. But the main reason for kind of having Son in there is that double game week 32. I think you're really going to want Son in there for that double game week, and then maybe come game week 33, you can transfer in the likes of Salah to captain him, or just, maybe move Son out. But I do think for now Son looks like a cracking option. If you can sort of, handle benching Son for the game week 33, game week 34 onwards, he does have cracking fixtures. So I do think that Son looks like a pretty decent asset. We also have Pedro Neto in there as well, picking up 5 goals with 6 assists and an expected goal return of 0.39. The main reason that Neto is in there is just because of the fixtures solely. If you go on the FPL app, it's just an absolute sea of green for Wolves and for Neto in the next kind of 4 or 5 game weeks. Brighton should be a green fixture, so for the next 5 game weeks, Wolves literally have green fixtures, so that's the main reason he is in there. I think he could be a cracking kind of differential option, coming in at only 5.7 million until the end of the season. I just think he looks like a great pick. And then we have the man on form, Diogo Jota, picking up 8 goals so far this season with no assists and an expected goal return of 0.68. Those 8 goals, I think 3, maybe 4 of them have come off the bench, so it just shows kind of how effective Diogo Jota is. His goals per 90 must be absolutely unbelievable. He's been injured for a decent part of the season, but now he's back, and if Liverpool do get chucked out of the Champions League, I can definitely see Diogo Jota picking up a lot more game time in a Liverpool shirt, and potentially picking up plenty more goals towards the back end of the season as well. So I think Diogo Jota is a cracking option. Then moving on into the defenders and the last selection of these kind of must-have players. We've got Trent as the main man in the middle, the premium option, you would kind of say, coming in at 7.3 million. Liverpool have only kept 6 clean sheets so far this season, so you can say they are really missing Virgil van Dijk. However, their expected goals against of late have been really good. Only Chelsea and Manchester City have a better expected goals against, and Liverpool coming in with expected goals against of 1.15. It's a good stat. And on top of that, Trent does have an expected goal return of 0.3. He's starting to kind of pick up some attacking returns, and I think for the back end of the season, Trent could be an absolutely cracking pick. Then we move on to Luke Shaw. Manchester United picking up 12 clean sheets so far this season with expected goals against of 1.31. They're in the kind of top or higher bracket of expected goals against in Manchester United. Definitely you can expect to pick up some clean sheets, and Luke Shaw is good for bonus points as well. That's one thing I didn't mention about Trent, is that when Liverpool do keep a clean sheet, Trent, even if they win kind of 1 or 2-0, very likely to pick up all 3 bonus points. So I think that in that respect, Trent is an absolutely cracking option. And also with Luke Shaw, in the same respect, he does love to pick up some bonus points as well. With expected goal return of 0.25, you can expect Shaw to be picking up assists, even goals in that Manchester United side, and he seems as though he's kind of got that left back spot on lock now. It kind of earlier on in the season, people thought that Telles would maybe come in and take that spot off of him, but no, Luke Shaw has made that spot his own and looks like a cracking option. And the final defensive asset that we are looking at as a kind of must-have for the back end of the season is Azpilicueta. Now, obviously, a lot of people will be frustrated with a 5-2 result that happened last weekend when Chelsea lost to West Brom. However, Chelsea have kept 15 clean sheets so far this season. They have the second best expected goals against of 1.13, only behind Manchester City, and I just do think that Chelsea Chelsea will continue to keep clean sheets throughout the rest of the season. It's got an expected goal return of 0.11, which has actually been going up over the previous weeks, and we have seen Azpilicueta pick up defensive returns in previous seasons, but the main reason he is going to be in there is obviously for the clean sheets that Chelsea, to be fair to them, are picking up, and Azpilicueta, like Trent and Luke Shaw, does love to pick up some bonus points as well. And so I think these are the kind of three main guys who can kind of be building your defensive, I guess, structures around, obviously including Ruben Diaz in that. You can maybe lob Creswell in there for the kind of back end of the season, and even someone like Nelson Semedo could be a bit more punty and a bit more differential. So I hope you have enjoyed this quick little look ahead to Game Week 31 and basically onwards at kind of must-have players, or at least players who I think are going to be solid picks throughout the rest of the season. I wouldn't say any of these players are really essential, apart from the likes of Ruben Diaz, Harry Kane. I wouldn't even say that Bruno Fernandes at this point is really essential. Maybe only because of effective ownership would you say that Bruno Fernandes is kind of the top tier of essential. I do think that Mohamed Salah definitely stakes his claim to kind of be that Bruno Fernandes replacement at the minute, and I just think the rest of them look like pretty solid picks. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for daily FPL content, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.